Put your hands together for Mr. Eddie Melo. So we gonna look to the future, Antigua Barbuda, and we going one day at a time. Shoulder to shoulder, stronger and bolder, step by step, we must climb. Embrace this brand new era with courage and with vigor. And we gonna do this one for the future generation. My country must go on. How can I can't do nothing? Good night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the show.
Check. Yeah, this is the worst sound engineer ever, bro. God damn. Check. Welcome to another episode of the Ignorance is Undefeated podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Don Melo, alongside Father Bash.
One man, one zilla.
And the great one, J2.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, cool. Check. Welcome to another episode of the Ignorance is Undefeated podcast. I'm one of your hosts, the Don Melo, alongside Father Bash.
One man, one zilla.
And the great one, J2.
Yeah.
Back come here with the cute boy vibes.
This is money, brother. You tell them how to talk?
Yes! Energy, vibes, shoot. As soon as I start getting knocked live, I'll come here like I got things got left.
Nah, man.
Big bad car, you drive outside and you go on like you're on the hot man right now. Just turn up the scheme, man. What go on differently? Go long for see the mic. Bet you lose today. I lose today, innit? Cricket, softball.
1-1, last one.
Huh? I know one game I supposed to play?
Played 2 games.
Currently, I'm boost. If you have a chance, everybody wants to play the team. They play 2 games.
Village something.
Hey, yo, the boss is my foot on. The boss said they want to play finish the week.
Me ask about me no. How can you get tired?
I want to joke it too. And after you come to the village league, you come to.
Yo, me ask the man.
You can't play national league cricket. You have to play village league cricket.
Listen, first and foremost,
Bush
I'm not a professional. Listen, me.
Sorry, that's a
just
funny
do my
question.
thing. Huh?
I'm funny
And
question.
this is my question, boy.
I mean, let's.
Big cricketer like he.
How we get. Listen.
Softball. Softball or tape ball.
No, not tip ball. Not come here. Softball right now.
So what is that all about?
Good
Softball league, no? ABSCA.
Yeah, that one.
Antigua Barbuda Cricket
Softball
Association.
Cricket Association.
Softball Cricket
So
Association.
who you play for?
Side
love
name
it.
300.
Who?
Side name 300.
My actual club.
Okay.
It's an actual association. They travel and it's a
Where you
league.
travel out? Monster.
No, Willie Key and better is than the places. So
That's why they tell how to travel. You travel.
Willie Key and better is than the places. So good distance than the drive that.
Yeah, but.
What the score maybe? What the score maybe?
Softball for a number of years now. The first match we lost by.
It was that bad. Okay, cool.
No. And it came down, but it got away from us at the end.
And then the second match you win?
Yeah, second match we
So are they there in the
pretty
lineup?
comfortably.
Huh?
Huh?
Are they there in the lineup?
You don't batting?
They'll be a batsman. I want all around.
Yeah, I can say all around.
I want no road now.
Say ball as well.
Yeah, ball and bat.
Yeah, ball fast ball or spin. Well,
Hold on, the answer. You the answer. What you think? Look what you do. What you think? Bally ball. Pause.
Me think none. That's what I'm asking.
Well, me think he ball nothing. He just run up and just roll the ball. He go. Can you look at kick ball or fast ball, boss?
Why?
What you ball? Pass or spin?
Oh boy. Pace ball.
See, next week Sunday I'll go watch a game.
Every time.
I'm going to bring on my show on this TV.
Yeah, what I mean.
Because there's
Come
no
true.
way he
Come
can
true.
convince me a ball
Matter
of
of fact,
ball fast.
we have one game.
The ball today.
One ball today.
What
Yeah.
do you get?
I got no wicket today.
Who much man Bruno?
They can tell you that. You look at KK wicket.
Who much man bush up for today now?
No, ball 2 overs for 8 runs.
Watch out. You look at KK any wicket. Watch out. You look at KK any wicket. Look at the shot. You should look at KK wicket, dog.
Style of pressure, boss.
Oh, sorry. You have style for you that gets your shot.
You can style one, you can style one. Style one.
Hey, yo, check. Yo, Bash, me and Jaytoven, me don't tell you, it was going to be a bloody year. And I believe, are we? So far, we have lost a few people, crime-related wise. Right now, Antigua hot.
People, hear me say right. Hear me well and watch me. How many episode you be?
2 episodes about. No, that's since the
So,
first episode for the year, I may do.
And if I go back and watch the episode, God them two umbrella. I try to say that me say the year was not going to be bloody.
Okay, you didn't.
I never said that.
Okay, you didn't say the year ain't going to be bloody. You said, how are we know the year me they going to be
That
bloody?
is what I said.
And I explained to you how I say the year me they going to be bloody. Did always drop to the ground?
Because when somebody died on the first,
Well, a
At the
trend,
first?
a trend has to start
they just
somewhere.
assume that the year get bloody.
But a trend has to start somewhere.
And up to now, I can't tell me what a bloody year entails.
People die
Duh.
from
Because-
crime-related
so because
situations.
the year bloody.
No, hold on. But you know, so you have to be with deaths too. You have to be with all
it's not solely that.
When I say bloody, I mean anything about like just some from a death standpoint. I just say that from a crime standpoint. Like immediately gonna be like crime may go on the up and up. And crime on the up and up, to be honest.
How you know that?
But yeah, it is. I can see. I'm in the streets.
So just that they gauge.
I mean,
You need a
so
different gauge?
you don't think that
Oh no, so statistics only come around when he convenient to you.
Statistics day that dictate that the year is bloody.
Alright, Bashi.
What the difference between this year and some other year that I can say, oh, but this year bloody?
So a comparison to this year,
Mm.
of this year to last year?
Any year.
I don't have those
Yo, the year
stats.
bloody boss. Yeah, it is. You're going like a remember you live in a hole no. You don't listen to you don't listen to news and you know.
Head buried in the sun.
Yeah. You don't listen to news and it's Sunday. So I mean,
So-
I even waste my time had that conversation with you.
So what make the year bloody?
Because the crime rate is high, bro. People have been dying from crime-related
There's
instances.
been a lot
Situations.
of there's been a lot of
Robberies.
gun related,
Yes.
specifically gun related crimes.
Top one like a naive boss.
But I don't know what y'all are referring to.
Exactly. So I will tell you.
No, yeah.
Not to the point.
Yeah,
Not to the point, bitch, I poop. He don't know how to refer to
Yeah,
it.
I'm telling you.
Bro, you know,
If there
on
was-
social
if-
media.
Yeah, tell me.
So if there was not an increase, would they be teasing the gun amnesty?
It is gun then say gun amnesty ever so often.
What is
but
ever
I
so
mean,
often? When the last time I had gun amnesty?
Um,
Exactly. Since you want to get with statistics, get a
Something
statistic.
like-
But it's something that is
backside.
done to
Maybe
curb
something
a
last
problem. And
It
obviously
only
the
happen when a
right
problem
now,
there.
But the problem is always there.
Not at the same level.
So what is the difference in the level?
Increase. I propose that there has been an increase in gun related
But how I know that?
crimes.
How I know that?
How we know that?
Yes.
Cat, again, are you on social media?
I just see a
Do
lot
you read,
more.
hold on, do you read
I hear a
newspapers?
lot more of it.
Do
Huh?
you listen to the news?
Yeah.
Ask see if you read newspaper.
Yes.
I
And I listen to news every morning. Observer Radio. 6:45, 7:45. Every day I check ABS Facebook page.
God, you want to tell me you don't see the streets bloody that?
But he listen more news than me then. So how he don't know?
You don't know the street?
But I don't know what y'all are talking about. That I
Yeah.
said the year blood. That's the only thing I said.
Sure. But upon a real low, crime upon the up and up, as you can see as well too. I mean, just the other day they have somebody that and then 2 days after somebody gets shit going down in
You know the young man too. Yeah,
Personally?
Yeah, man. Well, or should I say like the C-Ban basically, I know your mommy, like it's his uncles, everybody.
only child.
Oh no, he's not an only child.
Oh.
Like where I used to live.
Yeah.
They live basically on the other side. So I've seen him since he was, like a toddler.
All right, rest in peace. I mean, I don't know the situation behind that, but rest in peace. Also we had a situation that shook the nation. We'll go into much into that. When the details and them, everything come to a conclusion, then we can address that. But that may a sticky one as well too. I mean, with the gun, let's stick to the gun amnesty situation. With the gun amnesty situation, Nancy, how, yeah, pause. How
Pause.
I don't understand. So Like, you understand how it works? Because me not understand how it works.
Basically, you hang on, you go station, carry your gun, and that's it. They don't ask
So me can
anything
literally
about
commit
it.
a crime with a gun.
Yeah.
Hypothetically.
Yeah.
Turn me in within amnesty time and just go and buy a new gun.
Well, that is what it's for. Well, it's an effort to rid the streets of illegal firearms.
But first and foremost, do you not tackle the illegal firearms aspect first before you ask people to bring them in?
But
you have to figure out where the source come from and where you come from.
That's a way of them trying to
Figure out which source.
Where the gun and them come from?
What you talking about? What you talking about?
Okay, so
You can't do that, boss.
maybe look at it.
You can't do that. I was
You
just
can't tap the gun on them?
up on the street.
You
huh?
can't tap the gun and never come in?
All right.
May I ask you a question? That's what we talk about.
I mean, listen.
And I want me talk now, so can me talk real.
All right, listen.
Yo, sometimes I tell you everything
If-
really have to talk. You can talk like a fake too. No?
If guns are coming in any volume, any reasonable quantity,
That's a
of volume.
about it, yeah.
it is impossible that the
Amnesty.
average man and them will pick up here and there with gun.
What Carter say?
Responsible.
What DJ Palmer say?
Oh.
See, where I said earlier, you in the streets. Are we streets, you know?
But you don't hear the street. But you don't hear the street with the bloody. The crowd in the street's bloody.
No, that
So clearly, I will hear two different. I will hear the two different situations on the streets.
Apples and oranges.
Yo, I load up the street so far. Yo, I'm from mute out that, but I'm load up the street for. Yo, I trying to get the kid killed, boss. And then I did the same one when I just set me up to get killed. I go post RIP.
You just say you say in the streets, so how not hear these
A
things?
streets man get dead.
So how not hear these things?
We move in the streets stealthily.
How not hear these things?
No, I never hear about that, honestly.
Okay.
To be honest, I've never heard about that. But, well, guess you prove our point. Streets bloody. Streets bloody, right?
I'm bloody.
Our
About a specific type of cartel with illegal firearms.
The streets bloody. But a lot of people in Antigua have legal firearms too, surprisingly.
But more illegal, you know.
You find so? You know more than me, don't know. Me don't know. The most me know about the jet over and go play cricket and
you know how do you
can't
get a
attack with
legal
your
firearm?
ball
You know,
back.
you know, complicated
Pause.
it is to get a legal
Not necessarily complicated, but the process is just
Complicated, yeah.
I mean, not necessarily.
you find it complicated? The process just that's the process, that's the process.
Complicated.
Oh, well,
Let me ask you a question, follow up. Let's based upon that, based on the whole conversation that we're having.
Mm.
Are you guys for or against bearing arms? Like everybody is supposed to have the right to like bear arms.
I'm against it.
Why?
I was gonna ask a simple
Wash
question to that.
Why?
We deal with every day, bro.
Why?
Man, people every day that can't control the emotions, bro. With a firearm, then go quick for job, bro. And that's just the facts of it.
Does that?
Just from that alone.
Okay.
It's too risky, man.
I think I'm against maybe the average person just being able to access a firearm at will. For maybe the same reasons that cited, but outside of that, I think
So when you say the average person, what do you mean? Let me understand. Well, let us understand.
well, I think the average person, when I say the average person, I mean somebody that I wouldn't consider maybe have a responsible for protecting assets or themselves or family or something like that.
Me personally, I think every home, every household should have the right to protect itself.
Mhm.
Me personally, that's what I think. So I think that if I am in my home with my family, I should have the right that if somebody invade my space, threatening my life or my family's life, I should be capable of defending myself, especially if they come in with some.
But that argument also applies for somebody that lives alone, right?
Yeah, where they live, if you're in your house You're supposed to can defend yourself.
So then it kind of comes down to everybody, unless you are saying that your firearm should only remain at home.
Me personally, I think along those lines in terms of some kind of, I don't know if it's possible or it's feasible, but some sort of clause or something should be like, yo, you're supposed to can only use a yard and whatever. I mean, I don't know the details of it, but something like that. Some sort of stipulation that says, hey, you have the right to protect your yard, you have the right to protect yourself. Like, how many stories have we heard of people at home and then people are running from them and this and what you gonna do?
You see, the problem with that, with just the right to protect your yard, is that I'm saying when you're not at home, you're leaving it home kind of unattended, really.
No, because
the majority
I
people
think
in a home and their weapon home, people broke in their house.
But I think some sort of safety measure should be in place. Like, for example, if you apply for a firearm, right? Let's use this same hypothetical situation that you apply for a firearm for protect your yard, your wife and your children, right? All right, boom. The law enforcement come or whoever it is that issue these firearms, they have to pass some sort of inspection. You have to have some kind of safe something where it is not accessible to your children, that kind of something. So somebody can just come and just get access to it.
So what do you need for a police then? If everybody could come Wild West and gunslingers, then why I need police?
But there's no Wild West and gunslinger. You protect your home.
But that's where eventually could be in Wild West and gunslinger.
Okay, so we have police now. Police protect your home.
Police will reach from the back end anyway.
I'm on a running pan, your police will do.
I'm just asking questions. Because the more you can put protection, the more you can put more people for protect their own, then you're not going to need law enforcement.
I don't believe so.
We don't have a system where officers respond quick enough to even entertain that to me.
So giving everybody guns justify that?
Well, you see, that's what I'm saying. He's saying giving everybody guns. I don't really, because to me, giving everybody guns, I mean, so like how that sounds. I think that there has to be some
we don't fearful of that in general, bro.
Tests. But everybody don't have
that disqualify a whole set of people.
How can you... Bro, if we can say that the street's bloody and statistically prove that the street's bloody, you have to statistically prove to me that everybody have guns.
Everybody don't have guns.
Okay then, thanks. Coming on.
Yeah, everybody don't have guns.
Yet.
There are no, so the need for the amnesty and all them something didn't make sense.
It makes sense because a selective people, amount of people are gone.
J-Toven just tell me.
A selective amount of people are gone.
And J-Toven just said to me and to the listening audience, the viewing audience, that the street bloody and crime rate high and gun related. So what they gun and an illegal gun?
No, but it could be one somebody do all the crime. It could be a group of people do all the crime. It could have been a group of people do all the crime. You never know. It could have been a selective group of criminals that's a part of a criminal enterprise that's doing criminal activities.
The opinion express are just mellows, right? This is not like my opinion because I am.
But you want to say everybody have machine? No, if you can say everybody my machine, it will include we have machine. Suppose we have illegal machine. No, you gotta load up we something.
Everybody mean okay.
So talk properly.
So you don't know how people talk?
No, I mean I know what you're saying. The listening audience don't understand. Be selective with you.
I just said everybody.
Be not selective. Be
But we just clean them up, ain't it?
Direct with your words.
And we just clean them up, ain't it?
Yes.
I just said everybody don't have illegal firearms.
There's a few people in Antigua who have.
Melo said that.
May I ask you? I'm asking.
Ask me nothing. Ask me nothing.
No, yeah. Everybody.
Nobody have no illegal firearm.
So why are they doing the amnesty?
Ask Melo.
Let me go on like Adam 22. So Bash, do you have illegal fire weapons?
I don't have anything. I have no statistics. Hence the reason why I withdrew. I retracted my statement.
You better retract that. Can I have very broad statement for you?
In Antigua, what? Any firearms. So all these gun-related crimes that my two
you better be the defense
here.
You better be the defense.
Just referring to, I don't know, maybe a legal gun because there are no illegal firearms in Antigua.
You better be the defense to watch this. So everybody, me the hand, be the hand, but be the hand nail file.
True.
Anything be legal, see?
True.
Very legal. I really know
legal.
But on a real note, I just don't think, I personally think that Giving people firearms that can't be the solution,
That's
Bash.
what the solution.
Listen, the amount of
No, we have to find better
the
ways,
level
but
of
it can't be that.
training, the level of basic training.
It takes for
is
shooting
needed
firearm, bro.
just to
I hear what y'all are saying.
maintain control of a firearm.
But so what the solution?
I think that rule out 40, 50, 60% of people.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah, man, they even have firearm that not supposed to have firearm. Like some firearm that me personally think that's supposed to just, yo.
You understand? I mean, I talk about, emotional control. I mean, I just talk about none of that.
Yeah, that's not from the technical
Just
standpoint.
basic from a technical standpoint.
You rough, bro.
And that is just one facet. Then I'm going to put in emotions and how people just...
So hypothetically, because this doesn't exist, hypothetically,
Yeah.
there is a I don't want to say high, but there is a good a reasonable percentage of individuals within the society, hypothetically, who have illegal firearms, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do you guys suggest that we do as the individuals who don't have any? What
Illegal.
do we do? Who don't have firearms at all?
Illegal. Say it does not illegal.
As individuals who don't have any firearms.
Just
at
like how you're
all.
looking at the mic and talk for yourself, can't you talk for yourself?
As individuals who don't
But
not
listen,
talk about
but
you,
hold on.
legit.
But it sound like...
Me at all. Listen now. I just said hypothetical situation, right? I'm not talking about Melo, and I'm not talking about J2.
No, me get that. No, I get that.
That's why I put this so the mic here, people can hear.
I am just saying,
The feds are watching.
as individuals who don't have firearms,
Yeah.
right? And there's a percentage of people in society who have firearms. What is the solution? How I pose different
The reason I was asking, I was reacting just now because it sounded like you were asking a question I was going to ask earlier when we started talking about it. No, I was going to ask if you think that somebody that may not, through all the red tape of qualifying for a legal firearm, but they still have interest to protect, maybe their family or whatever, maybe somebody try rob them already, run in their house already. They have some sort of history that way that is concerned, and they have the opportunity to get one illegal.
What's the question?
Yo, the Bash question is, right? Bash question is realistically.
Bash question is what I'm supposed to do.
Exactly.
So that
I'm saying,
same question me ask what a person is supposed to do.
wait a minute, what fair question may be what people are supposed to do that not have.
You guys are proposing. You guys are saying that you're not proponents of everyone having firearms, right? So I'm saying,
Outside.
right. So I'm saying, in the event, the hypothetical situation where they have individuals in society who don't have firearms, but there's a large percentage who do have illegal firearms, right? And the people with illegal firearms are committing a ton of crime. When I run in on you, what are you supposed to do?
Oh, I thought you said what we should we do in order to curb people having illegal firearms in Antigua and Barbuda. Because me just going to tell you that's what Amnesty is about.
No, me not talk about that. Me talk about what you know who not know.
They call the police.
Call the police.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
That's their job.
Okay.
But that's no what you asked. The question that you asked there now. That's why I asked my question. Okay, so let's say that situation has happened. So what do I do?
If I'm in the forces with the illegal? Do I get illegal firearm?
Me no want from gun for no badness.
No, the man. Hold on. I have to ask you. Can you ask our question?
No, me ask based on what I say.
Right, I know the man asks you based on what you say.
I know me stand.
So you think yes?
You ever have gone for shot them when they come in, so them shot you, shot them back.
Okay, fair enough.
All right. Okay, well,
So
yeah.
what me say now? So what me say? So okay, logically speaking, tell me your opinion. Gunman not gone over here, but gunman not gone over there. Which part in the gunman there go? Robber man.
But all the time, sometimes they get it wrong too. This is sometimes they get it
Robber
wrong.
man, no. Listen what I say. Robber man, no. J over. Gone over there.
Yeah.
Robber man, no. No gone over here.
Yeah.
Where are they most likely to go?
Where the money there?
Where the money there?
Where the money there? All right.
So if the money over there, the gun, then they will go over the guns blazing for the money.
All right.
Where you gonna come rob me for me nah nothing? Robber man go come and check me and me nah nothing.
Okay.
No, but we get the man
Okay.
say,
Okay.
No, in no sense. Let me tell you why Bash nah make. Let me tell you, no. Let me tell you why Bash nah make no sense. No, hold on. Let me tell you why Bash nah make no sense.
Then go in on dog day.
Let me
Then afraid of dog.
let me show you how Bash nah make no sense. Because how you know that no gun over there, but you know valuables over there for going rob over there.
Well, me, you can,
What you saying make no
you can
sense.
look and make an assumption.
What you saying make no sense. So because a man have
So you can look over there and make an assumption no gun over there.
Most times people assume.
And that's why they get wet.
Which is
Wet
true,
them.
but assume you have to assume.
That's why they get wet. Because how you can assume no gun over there, but you can assume wealth over there for go rob them. But over there, no gun over there. And where the gun they supposed to go rob? Because they will protect something. Me not protect nothing. I mean, I have to protect.
Where they go?
Go there, yes. So they can get wet.
But honestly, it's easier for assume wealth than for assume defense.
Exactly.
Sorry?
It's easier for somebody assume wealth than for somebody assume what kind of defense you got. Man can just see a role like a Beethoven in the
the Benz,
yeah, and things. Yeah.
Most man that you know have gone either you don't see them yourself.
Yeah.
Somebody said and see them or something like that.
Or that you're
never
not
just an
really
assumption.
yeah.
No, I
Somebody
never said
would
anything
have-
about assumption, no. Notice my statement was very clear.
No, I'm just saying, but you can assume somebody has money though for how they roll. If they roll cashy.
You can.
Oh, me don't answer question no. Me don't say then go with the money then no. Gun or no gun no. Cause money them go for no. You know how much time them rob bring shock a gun?
Them brings man in on it, man. Come on.
Who brings where that?
Yo, I man can make some statements, right?
Come
like
on.
I didn't know for a
Bricks, man,
fact.
yeah.
Yeah, they say bricks but
This man
Yo.
say, hey, just not me too hard, bad.
Yo, I don't know that for a fact. That's a J to me. He and bricks man link. I mean, no nothing. I mean, no madness your chat. Me just don't think, honestly, I'm not against people having firearms. I just don't think everybody should have access to firearms.
You think
That's
everybody had the right to
madness,
protect
man.
themselves, their life, the most important asset are your life?
Yeah, so we'll learn martial arts.
Yeah, well, you
Shut
can
your
learn
mouth.
martial arts.
Shut your mouth, God.
Yeah, when the man
Go learn kung fu.
Yeah, when the man come in and stop, papa you find Carl Jackson. Yeah, and that's different. And that's different. Me?
Yo, Bash, me believe in our Almighty, no. So if that's my faith, that's my faith. No, me can't run for them.
Almighty too.
Me can't run for
I
them.
mean, the Almighty give me the most valuable asset that the Almighty gave to
Alive?
for my life.
So the man protect that.
Listen to me, Tato. Listen to me, Beethoven. Me and us. Me. Rather go ascend His Majesty's and sit down.
Her Majesty.
His Majesty.
His Majesty?
Yes.
Me say Her Majesty, please.
She got no.
And sit down.
No, me want to go her. Me no want to go his.
Down for go.
Me prefer to go Her
Pause.
Majesty than his.
Pause. Down for go graveyard. Down for go boneyard. Send me there for sit down, then put me over there for lie down. Pause.
Hey, remember I done had an episode out I will go jail. And the man,
Me definitely not go jail, bro. Kill me, dog.
Well, kill you. Well, that's you. That's you.
Me see 70-35, right? Oh, what a joking time.
Kill you.
Bro, DJ Palmer, one of the most wealthiest man in the world, no. And when you hear Adi talk about jail, no. The man say one place he nah never go back, no. And the man say me have jail comfortable. The man say every day wear new shoes, no. Rolex and so the man in the jail, no. TV, no. The man say he had the works in the jail, no. The man don't want to go back there, no.
If you want to go boneyard,
Yeah, boy, me take a chance of boneyard, boy.
well, are you still?
What?
Are you still?
As
You too? Boneyard for you?
me not think me can mentally do that in jail, boy.
No, we can't do the boneyard right now. I mean, if life send you there, life send you there, but if me got an option for choose
they chose jail.
how quickly me can go to the boneyard,
No, you choose between jail or boneyard.
that means me
What you choose? You
me go
choose jail?
jail.
Huh?
You choose jail, honestly.
Me go jail.
Yeah, man, me go find it. Yes, sir.
Damn.
Serious. I mean, Melo, real thing. Just behave good, you get hook up on the pick up and cut grass.
Bro.
You get to go
Me
outside
have-
and cut grass.
Yeah, listen, bro. We have people that spend time there, bro.
Yeah.
Multiple. And our bragging thing. That I know personally. Some maybe be family members too. Easier said than done, bro. And a place you want to go, bro. Jail of hell, bro.
Okay.
Bro, jail of
Nobody
hell.
want
Man,
to
it's not that man that want to that man that do crime for go jail for the sit down in the jail, bro. Where you talking about?
I'm not talking about that kind of the situation. I talk about between your life, between dead and jail. If you choose for dead, no wrong with that. I respect. Well, me respect that.
True be told, right, Melo?
Hey, Jesus
I
me
talk about
choose.
1735.
Jesus me choose for that too.
You're not talking about I'm prison over El Salvador and Mexico. Something you know about. Period.
Hey, me hold my breath, bro.
And discussion of the man saying you're dead.
Oh, what are you joking? Me hold my breath, bro.
Well, if that's a fair choice, that's a fair choice.
Man, I go no jail for nobody, boss.
Fair.
Trust me, upon road.
Where check economies, man?
So you don't go jail for yourself?
Check economies, man.
It's not for nobody. Not for nobody. For Melo. For Tito. Not for nobody.
For myself, I probably take a chance. For real.
Not for nobody, but
No,
for you.
for myself, I take a chance.
For you. For
But
you.
for anybody else?
No. Forget everybody else. For you. For you, one.
On consideration. Me consider. But me more lean towards the dead.
All right. Well, when
Me go make a job.
God forbid you ever have to make that
God
choice.
forbid, for real. Me go see my old lady, my old man job.
Yeah, you see that.
Especially if friends or family.
I'm a
member
brother.
involved, me go jail, sit down for them.
Hold on. I think I had this thing twisted, no. Me now say me now frig up somebody, no. I deal with people, no. Me now go 70-35. And I'ma tell you, they give me the option if a jail or dead, no. Me tell you dead. But if dead out of the way, me now go 70. I have to run for the rest of my life. Me run for the rest. Me now go in another place, there, bro. I have to be tell you. Whatever option they outside of the place, they may take come. Pause. Me now go in there.
You got on the fake boat.
But gone somewhere, I have to find somewhere else to go let me do, bro. Me now go in another place, there, bro.
Good.
You have to catch me if you come in another place, the dog.
Yeah.
What?
Feel that that's a good point for segue.
Into.
I don't know what your next topic is.
Everybody look funny, I'm crazy.
Me not look very crazy, because me don't accept the fact that you're dead. Me don't move on after that. And them they
Yo,
check
bash,
you know.
yo, bash the business, the bash it
Yeah,
dead.
dead, man. Are you dead?
For me grudging, no. For me grudging. For my partner, boss. That's for my boy.
The brethren respect your choice. The brethren respect your choice.
Yo.
Brethren say you respect your
Yo,
choice.
what the next topic be, boss? Check.
I was seeking some clarification about the whole when we asked about the Trump tariffs in terms of how you affect Antigua.
Tariffs.
Well, we're gonna let the economics,
You guys were giving me some
the economists
explanation,
speak.
because for me like, yo, what else we Antigua? How we not shoot no in Antigua?
So
Or
tariffs
in America.
Tariffs are essentially tax on things that they import.
Yeah, that's what I say.
So the school of thought is we import a lot of things from America that are going to increase in price because before they've gotten to America,
They have to cover some.
come from elsewhere or would have pieces of other things. So, for example, I'll use like a Ford pickup. Everybody know Ford, essentially American company. You buy a Ford vehicle out of America, but the transmission come from Canada and part of them come from Mexico. And every time you cross the border,
You have to pay a tariff.
you have to pay and tariff on whatever. So,
Everything will just go up.
assuming they carry the cost a pickup truck, let's say 15-20% overall. After they're done adding tariff for the tire, tariff on the rim, tariff on the steering wheel, on the airbag, because Tactor make the airbag and the airbag come from China, so that they see maybe 100% tariff for some stupidness.
That's what I understand with America as well. But continue, sorry.
Yeah, and so that's the school of thought will make things are gonna just get more expensive.
Because they barely have manufacturers in America right now. Majority of some outsource.
I mean,
Shirts, all this something from Bangladesh and all
That
that.
argument,
And that's
the
the
point of the tariff
Yeah,
of
that's the
a
point.
negotiation tactic.
But
Not only negotiation tactic, but
tariffs
is it
don't hurt the manufacturers. Tariffs only hurt the
the
consumer.
consumer, because they can pass them on to how we. If I really
But
want the product, they can pass them on to how we.
I think Trump wants to bring a lot of those manufacturing sectors to America.
You ever hear the comedians and they say, why? You never dare Chappelle say you want iPhone be $10,000?
I don't know, but that's my thing. That's what he tried. That's what he
Sir.
tried to deal with.
But I don't think that these companies want to do that.
Clearly not.
Because it's
But that's what
cheaper.
he wants.
It's a mix. Some countries there's there's no benefit to be derived of trying to get anything to America, but he wants the country to come and bring other things on the table. So, me already care whether or not they actually bring the thing over there. But come and talk to me for argument's sake, like the argument we have with Mexico. Come and talk to me about the drugs.
Hold on.
Come and talk to me about the drugs that across the border.
That's what he wanted to talk
That's
about.
the kind of thing. So he know that Mexico, for argument's sake, is a cheaper place for labor. And it
Right.
makes more sense for the Americans to have cheaper labor to bring in this stuff to assemble. But he want the Mexicans to do more
His things are not
things
made in
about
US.
the drugs and cross-border migration. He want them to do
Address
spend
that.
all the money for address them. Do everything for
okay.
address them.
So makes sense. So he's saying, so pretty much what he's saying is, okay, most of, like, for example, like some of them manufacturers, like drinks companies and so on, them happen in Mexico, right? And they cross the border, we make them cheap in America. So he's saying, listen, in Mexico, most of our industries are built on American companies. So all our employments, how I live my way of life, American companies are provide I with that. So because I will provide I with that, here what go on. We have issue with for all the people keep coming over and causing problem. Here what? If I don't address that, we could take some of the industries from Mexico. We could put tariffs that go squeeze out to one point where then just have to bring the industries back. America, I put them out elsewhere. So is it the tactic? But hold on. Is that tactic a bad thing or a good thing, in your opinion?
In my opinion,
Or is there a balance? Or you need to strike a balance?
It is not a very well executed method to accomplish that.
But addressing the issue addressing the issue is not you don't have a problem with him addressing the issue. Is how he's addressing the issue.
Correct.
But some would say, the way how you explain it to me, it sounds very logical.
The issues are logical.
You threaten tariffs just to get
Yo,
anything at all
so
you
think
want
about
people to do for you to do.
so hear me out. I'm not justifying what he's doing. But how he explained them, think about what I'm saying. Because all I will look for them, because everybody consider Trump an idiot, and just because Trump automatically just put in our box, right?
Hey, not me.
Okay, fair enough. I don't know you're radical.
Yeah.
Anyways.
You just say everybody.
Jesus Christ. You don't everybody go ahead.
Exactly. I someone of us is 20.
No, you can't say it.
You say so. Say you take them an idiot. And that's if you do.
Me to teach you about idiot.
Well, don't talk to everybody.
Me not gonna say, yo.
He telling me to say so, no, he says so.
But you can't tell you say so.
Let's say so.
But
Do not say it again. Please
But
refrain.
back to this your hand. Because what me try to assess, right? Because how you explain them is so very logical. Because what the man try to say, listen, you guys in that country over there are cause for me country a ton of problem because they're sharing border. Every president that come in try to address it and none I can get them done. I found a way that I think is a potential way of eliminating that. Because we spend millions and millions of dollars on resources trying to stop this, and I had to end up starting tunnel lights, start working or something, just to get back over here. Here we go, and I see that gear your business, and so hey, let's all come to the table and have a conversation about how we can curve it. No, I agree, that should be his approach. His approach wasn't, let me get classified. His approach wasn't that. His approach was, yo, if I not address this here, me go squeeze out you, I'm going to bring back this shit to them over here until I address that. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying from how you explain it logically, it just sounds like a logical sense. Like before you turn to a war situation or I mean, it's slightly extreme, but it's still a strategy that he's willing to employ.
Yeah, before you respond, I just want to ask, are you saying that is what that Donald Trump said he wants from Mexico, or that's just an assumption?
That was based on his...
He wanted Mexico to help police their borders. He wanted Mexico to send a certain amount of troops to the borders to patrol the borders.
Is that a bad thing or a good thing? What he said. Honestly, hold on.
Hold on. He no control Mexico border.
And that's the problem I have. Because this is the problem I'm having with everybody that's critiquing what Trump is doing. Hold on. I look for them. Me find people look for them bias where nobody can give me an actual logical like what unbiased opinion from a strategic point of view, what he's trying to accomplish, and does it make sense?
doesn't matter.
Everybody put emotion and who the person is.
No. I don't know that anybody is saying or anybody is unaware of what.
But yet over me, you share a border. And you take advantage of for me country every single day. I may spend millions and millions of dollars to protect my country.
Who is taking advantage of? Is the government taking advantage of? Because it's the government is who you're ultimately having this beef with. Who is taking advantage of the borders? And if that was a situation, I want to believe that if good faith negotiations had taken place, that Mexico would say, okay, you know what? All right, we can do a little bit more. We can something, and blah, 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 blah.
That was not the situation. Me now back Trump in the, me now back, I'm now for against Trump in the nothing. I'm talking about logically. How many presidents that America have had and people have been talking about protecting borders? Every election, J2 in the same fucking conversation America have. Every election. Obama election, protect borders. Biden election, protect borders. Bush election, protect borders. I'm not defending Trump. Hold on.
Not protected.
Oh, fuck me. Me not defend Trump. Let me have to make that clear.
Just ask you a question.
I'm saying
the borders not protected.
Clearly not if the man have take this approach. Or the most drastic approach I've seen in a long time.
The question
is it not the most drastic approach that we have seen in our generation of times? From since you start follow politics, from since me start politics, are the most drastic approach we ever see from an immigration standpoint. From America, right or wrong?
Immigration standpoint, yes. But not the most drastic approach ever made to protect borders. That was 9/11.
Listen, this man...
No. We're talking about with this situation.
This man jump up and say that, every country, all these countries have been taking advantage of America for years and years.
I'm not talking about everybody. We talk about Mexico and America.
You just talk
they can move goalposts.
All these countries have taken advantage of us for years and years and years, and blah, 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 and I got this and that and that. And who negotiated these trade agreements? And he negotiated these same trade agreements, the last ones? What are we talking about?
He who?
So the question
the
question that I have, J2, I still don't understand. Are you guys are you saying that the reason why he put the tariffs on certain countries, not all, certain countries, is because, well, in this case, Mexico, is because I know so much about the tariff, but because he wants to negotiate the border issue.
He wants to negotiate the response.
It's not just borders.
He wants them to do this specifically. He wants them to do these
things. So that's why he put the tariff on.
Do these things.
So the tariff about that and really about import and goods and what.
I think
the tariffs are on the imports, but it's something that he's using.
But it's just a something else. It's just a way to get them to do something else.
Yes.
Okay. To pressure them in.
Each country tariff is different. In my opinion, I could be wrong. Each country tariff different. Each country tariff different for certain reasons. For we want, I don't know the obvious because you want to offer.
Yeah. So
the same two top.
Yeah, the tariffs. The calculation of the tariffs for a lot of people didn't make sense and probably still doesn't make a lot of sense.
That part I can agree with.
Everybody else understanding of the term reciprocal simply mean do for do.
We're tariff net. We are putting tariff on him, so he
put tariff on him.
So, but when you say this, the tariff would be reciprocal. Everybody thought, okay, if the tariff for importing American goods, let's say between Antigua and the US was 33%, that they just do the same thing. So 33%, but there was some sort of maths based on GDP and blah blah blah, and so some countries end up with less than, and some end up more. But that's, I think, besides the point. I think that's moot.
You think so too?
The point is he put tariffs essentially on almost the whole world for the point of bringing the world to negotiate with him. That's the real, and not on the same point. There's some places where he actually really wants the manufacturing to return back to America.
Especially from an agriculture standpoint.
Right? So there are a lot of areas that he actually wants the industry to return, and there are a lot of areas where he actually just wants to bring the country to the table to negotiate something that has nothing to do with imports or exports directly.
He just wants to get a piece of the pie of what industry that they potentially are.
If you're going to back his approach where that is concerned, then you shouldn't have an issue with his approach where you say, okay, you countries that have Cuban doctors and nurses, China, send them back. Cuba, go revoke
But
that.
Trump is not the first that says so.
You countries that
But Trump is not the first.
if I
Trump,
get rid of IU, some program,
J-Toven.
okay.
But
if I know wherever.
Trump is not the first president to say that. Trump is not the first president to say, especially from the Cuba standpoint. Trump is not the first president to say that.
To say what? That you
Anything
cannot
about
hire
Cuba.
anybody
Anything
from
about
Cuba.
Cuba. Yes, anything about Cuba.
Me never hear that before. Me personally.
But I mean, when Bush me win the election, I'm in Cuba. When Bush me win, if me not lie, me the pinna, bro. For 2 weeks straight, I may say military vehicle go from Pinna up in the Pinna. I remember Pinna close to Miami. For 2 weeks straight, cause they assume that he just mean they go left.
So I'm asking you, did he say the same things that Trump is saying now in terms of if you don't?
I don't think he said it directly, but people have put things. Yo, the only thing that I think Trump is doing different than any president have ever in America that ever done, he bring on to the people, bro. He have publicly done it because everybody do them in a negotiation the back doors. They have these negotiation back door. Obama had these negotiations, forget certain things to move around. Bush had them, Clinton had it. Every president have had negotiation. They have to go in for negotiate certain things to protect their country. From border to imports to protecting medical, to protecting them, making sure that big countries don't align with their enemies and all them. Something. Every president have to do that.
So I'm happy that I'm glad.
But me just think he just too public and just too drastic about and just don't care about for his approach. He has never been diplomatic about his approach. But again, he now an everyday politician. He is a businessman.
Precisely. Let's bring it. Let
me again disclaimer. Me not approve nothing Trump.
Let's bring
his approach is drastic. Let's put it that way.
Suppose me approve it. Suppose me approve it.
Let's bring it a bit closer.
Alright, cool. That's for your problem.
I'm kind of glad that J-Toven brought up that whole Cuban thing, whatever that he said about certain countries.
Mm.
So J-Toven, what you think about your answer? What your opinion about that in terms of, because should the Caribbean countries cave, or should it be like me and Motley them? I think me and Motley said it, and some other prime minister from which other country? I can't remember. But in terms of, she basically saying, I'm paraphrasing, yo, when it comes that you can keep your visa. Do you think
me and Motley up on the list?
No, I'm just saying, like, she said, if it comes to that, whatever, they're gonna
I hear everything what you say. No, I heard when she said it. Me
Right.
listen she whole speech, but
okay,
like
so
I say, she in no danger. She can say anything she want to say.
true. So I'm
She
asking
can
you,
push out her chest and say what she want to say.
the Caribbean countries who are on the list, what do you think? Should they cave, or should they have a similar approach?
Okay, so for me, my thing is this. Don't bite the hand that feed you. Right? So me think that where you have been getting benefits and fruitful relationships over the years, you just rock with them.
Well, that's what I think. That's
America come and say about this and that. Cuba and them don't do more for than them, they.
Exactly. Exactly.
They want to run with China and all and something, but them places don't do more for than are you.
And slippery slope for our kind of on the fence. Because in the region, a lot of islands, negotiate positions with China, Taiwan, Russia to some extent. And so you are the person who friend with everybody. You friend with the enemies of enemies, and you friends with friends of friends and friends of enemies and frenemies. We're just in the mix, which kind of negotiate between, okay, how sour I want to make this year, or, because for argument's sake, we know China is very diplomatic. China isn't trying to create a war with anybody because China all about the dollar. China willing to say, well, hey, if that's the case, me will, me provide you with a whole industry, me provide you an airport, me provide you a hospital, a bridge, a port, where we before I can make this deal sweet. And America might say, like that. But back down on it. And even if you back down on it, China will say, all right, safe. Now cool up on the port, I can do something else. So you have to really straddle that line in the kind of geopolitics where America right now, I come, as Antigua say, grango. for say, this one I want.
I think certain countries, and let me say this, I don't think Antigua is one of these countries, but I think certain countries would back would want their leaders to be firm, pause, and say, come with me, this is what I would do. And as Jay told me, say, and bite the hand that feed that way. You understand?
What feed are we?
But I don't think, like, you think Antigua people say, oh, visa and this and this and that. Yeah. So that's my personal.
What are you talking about?
Antigua from America is really and true.
Culture.
Mary Jet.
No, because I mean, we just want to know.
You must say Mary Jet. I want to joke it all.
I mean,
The most important thing
Yo,
can get from
me still
America.
understand how Mary Jet till how one play to come here week time, bro.
You know, if
Yeah, look at that phone.
Make that plane it up, right?
What?
and if something
Why
happen,
take a blow up?
if them man not if total not for bring you know then now better come now.
Yo, bro, I'm Mary Jet. Yo, what the joke? Yo, me have somebody that work at airport now. And Fushy jobs only for Fushy friends. Every time they when American Jet land, there, bro. Not entirely surprised when you hear Mary Jet land and you think they get a package. Boom!
but I think it's a slippery slope because if countries, not particularly Antigua, I'm just speaking to, if countries allow a next country to dictate what they can and cannot do, then what stops other countries from doing the same?
But leader of the free world come with, and that's what leader of the free world come with. Dictating what people do.
But if you're not getting any, if you are the leader of the free world, right? But in this particular country, I want to say this, I'm gonna say, well, in a particular country, that country is not deriving any tangible benefits from that leader of free world, but
Yeah,
other
but
countries
Bash.
I help them out every day.
But Bash.
So this leader of free world gonna say, hey, Jay Doven, talk to us.
Yeah, but Bash, alive, bro.
And the country did not give you nothing.
But alive, bro. Alive,
So
Bash.
what are you supposed to do? What is life?
What a life, Bash.
Say, okay.
Okay. Them they make the rules.
Who?
Them, Trump and them, America, then they make the rules.
But
And our leaders have to just follow.
But you're not deriving anything. Trump not getting nothing.
What you know what Trump give them and what Trump not give them?
Okay.
But yeah, he give them a visa.
What do we derive? Well, not we, but what the country derive from America. And J don't say visa. So that's it.
Yeah.
So so visa go hold your country hostage.
Until China.
I mean,
Hold on there. Until China can come.
Visa, but the visa is the access to America. That's
Yo.
what it is. Access to America.
Until China can come closer to Awi, America the closest best
Hence
thing.
the reason why I said certain countries would be proponents of, hey, this way be our stand with who we know have helped us in the past.
Yeah, but America have market, Bash. America like the biggest marketplace in the world, bro.
Yeah, but that
Louis Vuitton and them place they, even though they cover Italy and France or wherever they come from, they wouldn't be big until they reach a damn market
you
there,
got
bro.
people in the world that
No
then
way.
someday have nothing to do with them. People
There's
don't care about that
no way.
someday.
You think?
No, I understand that, but they still,
People don't care about
these
that.
are just the big brands that I'm talking about. They still have smaller brands out there
So, let me
that
ask you a
still
question.
depend upon the market.
Do you think there's any scenario where we turn away all the doctors and nurses here from Cuba? The question.
He said,
Me no believe that it
or
happen.
something, right?
Then they get paid now. Then get paid.
They get
I
paid.
don't know. So I don't know, but he said something come on the news that he said somebody could change something with some kind of arrangement with the Cuban doctors and nurses, right?
You know.
I thought that just something to do with them that in America.
Whatever. Who in America?
Yeah, doctor and nurses, Cuban doctors and nurses in America.
No, Antigua the man in that
Antigua.
Antigua the man that one no.
Ah, very cool. Oh. I thought even they tried to tell her to close down some of our programs. Not the nurse and doctor one, the other one and them that. Ah, that
Man,
No,
no.
at all.
Any doctor and nurse are employed, yeah. Then the one, yeah.
So I must do that.
No, I was supposed
Well,
to
you said they
I was
make the
supposed to look
rules.
to other countries that they're friendly with.
I used to make they make the rules.
And they had the same price? Like the one
I
and
don't
the
think their business what price. they
not
are.
even. Let me rephrase that because that sound cheesy. They are they as qualified as them from the Cuban doctor? Because hey, me can tell you no. One time me sick the Cuban and the man give me injection, I restart for my body in the bus. And from that, me never see get the man laugh. You can go and laugh. Bro, listen to me. One time, one time I come breathe, bro. I feel like I'm dead, bro. Flu may catch, right? My whole body shut down, boss. But catch a busy taxi, go to the polyclinic. I can never forget. Walk in the polyclinic, I explain my symptoms to the nurse. The nurse write them down. 2 minutes later, and rush me into the room in a doctor. The doctor the doctor pull out a syringe. Hey, let me show you how, right? In the Cuba and a disposable syringe in them. And the syringe in there, they take out the sanitizing mechanism. So
what?
The one with the look,
The one in like a horror movie.
You ever see that with the two little hole? With the two little say push your finger? One of them there. And the man knock on me here the glass. And the man say,
You embellish the story a little bit over.
No, I'm dead ass. The man laugh. About 2005, 2006, 2007, I go Cuba and lad.
Man said the man dig like how they dig Frank.
The man tell me, yo, he said the boy is freaky, God. Show them boy they freaky. Bash is yo, them boy they freak, Bash. Them boy they freaky, Bash. What? Anyways. You can be more plausible now. The man tell me. But pull on the pantalon, I'll pull on, give the left cheek, and the boss do so.
They give the whole cheek?
The whole cheek.
Pause.
You don't get the whole, that's the cheek you really get. The fuck up cheek, boss.
Why for you?
The whole and the cheek?
Yo, bro, the man dig with the injection, right? Pause again. The man dig with the injection, pause again. Yo, I swear to you, when the man don't dig me right, the nurse wipe him.
But you don't dig you.
Yeah. Pause. We say pause, bro. The nurse wipe the area. And the nurse tell me, before I go back to school.
That's hold up over it.
Yo, listen.
Hey, that man supposed to run you out to the doctor shop, man. Yeah, too much of fun.
And then dig it.
Yeah, they dig it. Too much fun. That man even run you out in the back.
As yo, the man laugh. Yo, as can't get yourself.
I detail with the digging.
That's how I'm just clean the area.
As can't hold up. As hear me out. As no, but hear me out. No, but big man thing. When I'm done get the injection, the nurse say, yo, wait outside for 5 minutes. Don't leave. Bro, but kid you not. My eye and them, I couldn't see out of my eye and them, bro. Blackout. I remember I can hear, but my eye and them, I couldn't see. I physically couldn't see. And then within 10 minutes, my vision started come back. I'm a kid you not. I couldn't run go back down the road, bro. That's how powerful an injection they be. So until you can find doctors in Antigua that can do that, run them, boy. You have a quiz.
You are the one that just said earlier that the world leader, the free world, or free man.
Me a politician, me can't say what more to say. Them the world figure that out.
So no say nothing. Because if them
Facts.
rules, just accept what they say based on your premise.
Let me don't win if dead, then I'll go jail, so. Facts. Can't me know what I say want me tell you.
But you have to remember too, Bash, that how people stand up depending on what kind of pressure you put on them.
And the people don't stand up.
No, I'm not for Antiguan people, because I don't about no confrontation, right? But
We can't.
but they listen to a guy on BBC, and he's like, he don't understand why the rest of the world just don't leave Russia alone. Russians are the kind of people, like them different, the whole long history of how they became what they became. Let the people them be, and try squeeze the people to fit in how I they think and how I want. Are the kind of people, like ants nest. If you're going and left the ants nest alone, it not bother you. But every time something happen, you want to kick them up and dig them up, and the more you dig them up, the more the ants bite.
True.
Hence part of the reason I believe Trump is taking the approach he's taking. He's like, you know what? Me not dig the ants nest. Me go about by the ants nest, and me go with sugar. And me try to get the ants nest to come out the hole nice and easy, and so I can negotiate that you stop bite up my plant them on this side, and you go up on the other side.
So I think that's why he's so friendly with Russia.
Oh, definitely. The man don't see there's no point. You got nuclear arms, me got nuclear arms. Yeah, your gun might as big as from a gun. You know, easy walk over. Nah, fight that battle because there's no surety me go win. Whereas now, Israel and Palestine and Ukraine, you say, from gun bigger than all our gun, and if you do me say, that is the Trump approach. We see it. It's been played out every single day. That is the Trump approach. I don't agree with everything, but
I think it's when they get too much hard time, boy, to be honest. Man, they get me sweating so in your boss. Hey, at the end of the day, I like how we high, say. Still have a movie what the system move it. So, it's either that, so, the leaders and them round here can turn up and kick up and go on and say what they want to say right now, but if I start get squeezed, all them go just fall in line. You understand? Realistically, because I don't know for different.
I regard the post that the link I'm sending in the group with the beach something. I'm not getting into too much details. But more, I want to speak about it. I have a general conversation, but I don't want to speak about that specifically.
That someone them by the beach.
Yes, allegedly.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
Yo, hey, you know, I realize about this podcast, bro. I'll ever tell them, man, yo, more talk about the topic, but more talk about in general, but don't speak about the specific situation. Just to say that, no. Can you say that, you know what they're going to do? Oh, so you talk about this, and they get...
No, but he didn't do that. He did not do that. He was just trying to verify what I was saying. So that's what I'm going to tell you, yeah. He didn't call on him, no.
Call on him.
So, that's the question I have, like, if those things are happening within Antigua, right? What I think I should do about that as a people? Me not on a government, like as a people. What I think I should do? And for context, we're referring to beach access, and it's alleged that a lot of our beaches are being privatized, quote unquote privatized, and access to the general public is basically being denied access.
well, for me, from a point of view upon that, is that because I've read it myself for that very reason, where it says, whereas there's been public access, to a beach, for a period, I think is at least, call it 10, 15, there's a year period in it, that it must be maintained, that public access, once it is already there. Not that I never does go to the beach, and now somebody have a property adjoining the beach, all of a sudden you want to go there. If on beach you custom for go, the people custom for access, that access has to be maintained. Right?
That's all for your problem.
So hold on. Let me understand.
Go ahead. Because that's what the law say.
So you're saying that the law is saying if this particular beach hasn't been having access to it regularly,
yeah,
and someone comes and acquires it.
Acquires the property. Because technically they can't actually own the beach.
Right.
They can own the property,
just the property
adjoining the beach.
Adjoining the beach. And there wasn't any access before. You're saying that
they're not obligated to give
access to the beach. But that makes sense.
But that's
But there was no access there in the first place.
That not the price of selfish.
It has a lot to do with the price of selfish.
I understand it. If there was no access.
If there was no access, then that means nobody may go there. So how you get there? So now me develop the land.
But ultimately, you still have access to the beach now. So for instance, if you're in a boat, you can go
but bias in a sense.
That's what the law says, though.
But if you're
in a sense.
But if you're in a boat, what the man tries to say, if you're in a boat, you can still go up on the beach. Nobody can stop you from going up on the beach. But you can access the man land for go up on the beach.
Well, what I am saying is, if the public should be allowed access to the beach, right? Even if on 2 feet, you have a take off, left that 2 feet there. So in the event anybody want to go to the beach there.
But it's not the developers' problem. It's the government's problem for create one access to the beach.
And that's what I just say.
Oh, and I'm just making sure because sometimes people put up on the
No, me not the developer. Me
right.
talk-
People put
when
up on the
when
people.
When the government just sell the land.
Yes,
left
they're
and
supposed
two
to.
for me to achieve
That'll
it.
make sense. That'll make more sense.
That's
That'll
what
make
I'm
more
saying.
sense.
Left
That'll
and
make more
2
sense.
feet to
Yeah,
achieve
but
it.
the land is not always structured in a way that you can just leave.
Well,
it
them
like a
better,
2
them better
feet and
structure.
that
Them better structure.
inch back to a
Them better structure because if the
Because
beach
if a crown land, then you can say, hey, if a crown land to a beach at 2 acres, for example, and a man want the 2 acres to develop, and there's no more space within the 2 acres, you're supposed to tell him, yo, you can only get 1.8, no. Got this 0.2, you have a road access.
so but me never know what the beach yet of it.
That just be for me biggest
But that's what I'm
problem.
saying. Even if you never knew about it, ultimately you can always get to a beach from the water. They can never
But
block
me not on a boat.
block it.
But me not on a boat. Like
Well,
for
they
example,
just can't go to the beach
that
then.
makes sense.
So you know that's what I find the
But
problem
that
be,
makes
right?
sense.
Let me tell you what I find the problem be. There will be a beach there, and nobody ever go to the beach. And once somebody discover the beach and say, yo, I want the land for access this beach because I realize nobody ever go to this beach and I seclude the beach. And as soon as I'm building good on, all of a sudden now 10,000 people at Easter start
me
going.
try find the name of the beach. I'm just say
Listen,
about
if
me never say about the beach.
you
man.
That's those
buy one
people
property by a beach, right? Now, if the government want for them, they want to provide access or whatever. Me not no problem with that. But if then they put no provide no access, when me can fence good on the water, we do that. Me don't want nobody walk across my
I hear
place.
Antigua.
Yo,
So imagine if the foreigners they come.
J2 no fat, you talk no.
Hmm?
Oh, what joke here? Me
Me
try
tell
find
you,
the name of
hey,
it.
me tell
So
you,
the
if me
beach
can
me
fence
hear
good
about
on the
what
water, me fence good on the water.
Me on social media, me see this girl that talk about, oh, this beach, and I'm taking a trip to Antigua, and something. Me say, what? That Antigua? Me not say what the beach say. Say start going there, no? No, me not start going, but me just say. No, I'm just saying that to say.
But that's what ever happened. That's what caused all the problems
And
now.
that's why then the supposed to left access to the beach.
And that's why I don't think it's the developer's problem.
Never said
It's
developer.
no, but just to show you on farms though. I just think it's what from a government standpoint, I need to figure them out. We just think so. But at the same time, nobody's supposed to do that.
Gardens. You ever heard of Mermaid Gardens?
No.
Okay, you see. As you ever heard of Mermaid Gardens?
I mean, 365 beaches as bad boy. You're not gonna
Exactly.
Mermaid
That is
Garden.
my point. That is the buckle. That is the point. That is the buckle. No, me see Mermaid Garden. Me say, what? Let me see. Next thing me try go Mermaid Garden.
You can't get access. So influencer make you know about Mermaid Garden.
I trooping is them deal with.
So
I'm not saying there's no access to Mermaid Gardens. I'm just using that.
Yeah. But it's a
So,
go ahead, as.
You see, on the government website,
Yeah.
public access to beaches is 2016 post.
Yeah.
On laws that, well, it also falls in laws.gov.ag. Physical Planning Act 2003, section 550. There shall be at least one public landward access to and right of way. Oh, okay, I didn't know this one. And right of way that should be to every beach in Antigua and Barbuda.
Thank you.
Where there is no alternative public access, traditional public use of the private landward access to an existing private development shall be sufficient grounds for establishing a public right of way over that access for the purpose of access to the beach by the public.
Thank you.
Where the only landward access to a beach is through an existing private development where the traditional public use pursuant to subsection 2 of this section has not been established, the Crown may acquire the right to public use of that beach access by gift, negotiation, contract, purchase or lease, compulsory acquisition in exchange for other property, interests, or financial exemption, or by such other means as the minister may recommend as a condition of issuance of any permit or license required under the provisions of any act. Where land is acquired by the way of compulsory acquisition for a beach access, the provisions of the Land Acquisition Act shall apply in respect of such acquisition.
So let me ask you a question. So that mean if a developer do something like that and there weren't any access to the land and all of a sudden to the beach and all of a sudden no, people want access to the beach and he has to present access to the beach, that means the government can have to compensate him by giving him
more land or financials or exemption, wherever it be, for make sure that the
good. So the last structure. So the last structure.
And yeah, one last one. In this section, traditional public use means peaceable, open, and uninterrupted enjoyment for a period of 20 years.
So in summary, I forget access to all the beach.
Correct.
That's what the law say.
So as
That's what the government works say.
Okay. Fat.
Yeah. But that's what it says.
Brother, you could articulate it.
But the truth is, the government has not given public access to every beach.
Hence the reason for my question.
No, but that means the developers and them that are fighting against the people and them supposed to attack the government. Not attack, but approach the government for resolve the issue.
The
Like,
government
hey,
has
they need to
is
figure
supposed to
this out.
resolve the issue, yes. Based on what's on the government
So,
website there.
Again, what do you guys think we as a people should do about it?
Well,
Government out it.
well, you see,
Hold on.
only
What?
two
Go ahead, let
parties,
me,
on apart from the people who want access to the beach, there are only two other parties to be affected: the landowner and the government. Now the question is, do you put the landowner in jeopardy for the fault of the government not creating the access? That's the question. What
And
what
that
is the
fall in-
correct action to take? Is it against the person? How do you take action against the government?
But it not even necessarily so much the government per se. Are the people in there who govern lands and them something in Antigua supposed to see when you're a planner, you're supposed to
It
see
says
that
the
hey, this
minister.
development. This a development to come through the certain means. So you're supposed to look on the plan and say, hey, this is the law, this is the act. I can't approve this until this happen. If I got prove this, you're gonna this is gonna be a consequence, and sometime down the line, if this is the situation that come, so I shouldn't have none. So I shouldn't do nothing. I supposed to make the government hold the government accountable so they can execute what they need to execute. I don't think it needs to be a drastic situation because there's measures in the law to dictate how things supposed to be governed. I just need to just hold people accountable.
So that's the question I'm asking. Yeah,
No,
the
me know how
measures in the
you.
law.
Hey, me know how you
No,
think.
I'm not talking about like we're supposed to physically go out and assault anybody.
Okay, cool.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying as a people, right? What are we supposed to? Are we supposed to get up and rally and?
No, they're
get the
supposed to just
government
call who I need to
pressure
call.
upon the
Yeah,
government?
just need to call who I call.
Because this has been happening, in my opinion, too often.
But this is the problem I'm having. It shouldn't be a situation where the people get up and do shit because that's what you have opposition for. So if you have incompetent opposition that not attack these legislations on our behalf, if as they read that, I don't know.
Yeah, true. But then
So that's for your job as an opposition because you're trying to get to the power.
But if we see that no one is doing anything about it, we're supposed to just sit down and just say, yeah.
Oh no, I'm not saying that. But I think before you reach to the
what can we
people,
do?
certain things supposed to
What can we do?
protest. What do you mean? I can do
like,
bash.
that's what I'm asking. Like,
What do you mean?
can we do?
Bro, what do you mean? Protest?
We can make noise about it.
Protesting works, no. I think don't get it twisted, no. Protesting work, no. I just think we just choose the wrong time to protest and we protest about the wrong things. But if I actually start to protest at the right time, when the best time for protest is when the time I'm look for vote now.
Me don't think so.
We think so. It's more effective. You see how fast you get things done.
Anytime protestation necessary, you just protest.
That's the truth.
Well, you can't just protest.
Well, you can't just protest just to
put off your
protest case.
till the time for vote because the issue might not be rife at that time.
Exactly.
That's
That's
true.
what I'm saying. So when
And you know, gonna have an effect,
Yeah.
the maximum effect. But that's what I'm saying. That's where opposition is supposed, because that's why I keep saying there's tiers. Before you hit we have to actually get on the streets and protest. Because, back in the day when Baldwin and them does protest, no, it does have effect, no. Because them man just don't bring that to the public so much of time that, and bring them in the parliament so much of time that has standouts in the parliament and all kind of something that he reach a point when they just say, hey, people, this is what happened, and if I attack them, then people attack. Nowadays, me just feel people protest for protest's sake. And then here, because of 5 or 6 people protest and a massive protest, how easy be for quell 6 or 7 people? You can't call thousands of people, no, bro. You hard to call thousands of people, no. But 6 or 7 people, you can just...
So the issue there is how do we as a people, a community, a society make these things matter to everybody? I mean, we're doing our little bit here, having a conversation. People should, do their own reading and decide what they want to
That's
do.
the way you go. That's the way you complete. That's the way the whole structure brought down.
but
People should... That part the way say people should do it.
No, but
What people should do it?
read.
You can wait your hand and wait for that one.
But the point I'm making.
People can read.
I said people can't read.
Is it? But they're not going to. But the point is, unless most things, 90% of things, unless it matter to you, you don't take action.
That's
But
the problem.
yes.
That's the problem.
I agree. It is a problem.
And that's the conversation we had about the situation that just passed as well.
I agree. It is
Because
a problem.
in Antigua, I have very much selective outrage.
True, a lot of places.
I have very much selective outrage, and a lot of things can be prevented. If I attack them when you first come to the border and I attack them early, 6 and 7, when other people come and try to do them, they're gonna, hey, I can't do that because then people could kick up and go on with trippiness. That's why, don't get it twisted now. I don't say what approach is always the right approach. But the outcome is always the right outcome.
You think the approach is the right approach?
Me think the approach is always the right approach. Let's be clear on that. But I always think the
Just what it
outcome
means,
at
I
the end of the day is the goal is to protect the people and what belongs to the people and make sure things are being done the right way. Sometimes they might question things even though they are doing the right way, but they don't understand that's been done the right way. So when they protest, then whoever is in power have to clarify and say, hey, it's been done the right way. And then equal the situation. Because sometimes the outrage... No, but sometimes, Bash, you can't always take that approach,
for protest,
right? You can't always take that approach, especially if people are doing things the right way. If you don't,
but as you just said, if you're doing things the right way, but you haven't sensitized me as to what's going on, then I have a protest.
No, but sometimes, Anna, that the people not sensitized, they've been misled. And there's instances of where people have been misled from misinformation.
So that's why they protest. So you can't
that's what I'm saying. It's not always that's what, notice what I said. The approach is not always the best approach, but the outcome is always the best outcome.
Okay, stick a point.
No, let me finish. Because I want you to be clear on that. Reason being, because at the end of the day, it evokes a conversation and things that people weren't clear about gets clarified. And
exactly.
But the approach now mean is always right.
It's right to them because, as you said, if they've been
If
misled,
results, you have to say right.
if you're being misled, yo, in another intelligence, if you're being misled if you're being misled, and you tell me something, okay, it's not going so, but you tell me believe, so you go.
So I like your first son come on. I like your first son come on. Hold on. I like your first son come on and tell you, Daddy, I'll slap me off.
Mm-hmm.
You don't care about nothing else now. All you hear as slap you off.
So I have an approach as.
But let's say your approach as a slap off as. But that's what I'm trying. But that's what I'm trying to tell you. You approaching as sometimes the situation get to the point where man get slapped off. And then no man
get slapped off, I have an approach as.
But so that's not the right approach.
No, you are the right approach because
you slap off as?
I never say approach.
But that's what I'm telling you. Some approach is not going and having a conversation. Some approach as soon as they see as man a box on us.
Well,
and all the information.
I said approach, not box nobody. So if I'm being misled.
If for one thing, boy, you should have been a liar, boy.
If I am being misled.
You should have been a liar. I think you should be a politician too.
A protest.
You missed the point that I'm trying to prove. It's not the right approach all the time. You're talking about protest. We talk about the whole scope.
I protest me talk. We not talking about scope. We talk about protest.
But all the time protest is wrong too because you stop progress.
But
you can't say that.
But the problem they have is that you said that not always the right approach, but always the right outcome.
Yeah, so the right outcome because I get information.
So I'm saying
exactly.
So it's hard.
Approach and the right approach, but then it create a conversation that can get the right outcome.
So are you saying that
am I right? Am I wrong?
Are you saying that they never have the right approach or sometimes?
Whoa.
No,
listen to what I said. I said sometimes the approach is not always the right approach. Perfect example. If me slap Az, if Az son come to me right now and say, hey, if Az son go home and say, hey, slappy. Az come and shot me in my head, bro. Az approach and the right approach, but the outcome could be the right outcome now. You know what the right outcome could be? Because Az is going to get the right information about what happened, and it can have an effect that no people can put things in place where they can say, hey, no, I have to be critical thinkers. Bad things have to happen sometimes for good approach and for good outcome.
I'm not talking about them radical actions. We're talking
but sometimes it gets there. The last protest may be radical.
Protestation. So what them for do?
You have dialogue, bro.
How?
I mean, the person that mislead you, ask them questions. You can't take everything they say at the grain of salt.
I think, it's
apples and oranges. Gone for nothing.
Yeah,
how you didn't ask them
but
I don't know.
But
I think it's always the right approach.
I believe in my opinion when it comes.
You find something wrong with what I said, go on. Come on, want to accept.
Me,
If me lose more, accept the
it's
thing.
one of the situation where
we're having a conversation.
where neither person is necessarily wrong,
Yeah.
but both persons want their point to be accepted.
No, not really accept.
No,
Because
that's
me want to know if my approach
No, both
then correct me.
both
'cause
points
I
are
learned the
valid.
situation.
Both points are valid.
Again,
Because
ignorance is undefeated.
if my only avenue is protestation.
It can't be only avenue back. That's ignorance.
I understand. I
That's
understand.
not like it. For me, only avenue of dealing with a situation of violence.
In the context.
Can't be.
In the context. Exactly, a context.
With the violence. So we can use violence.
But if he yield to you the correct results, you're gonna stop.
Hence why I consistently do the same bullshit. So now I have to have people who are sent to tell them, yo, you can't consistently do that. It can't be every single thing. I'm gonna just jump up and in arms and just put that. It can't be everything, bro.
It's been working. You yourself. said
Oh,
that.
but Clark, that don't mean it's right, Jaytoven. But the outcome might be right, but that don't mean it's right.
But if I'm doing
If
something,
even every
I'm
single
doing
day,
something-
go put food in your belly. You
but
can contain your
hold
teeth.
on. If I'm doing something and it's working for me,
but can't
and
be
you're
violent,
coming now to
conversation, yeah,
convince
bro.
me that what I'm doing is bullshit, as you call it, then what can you offer me that's gonna work for me? That you know is gonna work for me? Because I know what I do right now is working for me.
Yeah, Tony, if I'm a leader of a gang, I'm gonna have a bunch of people that cronies that they can follow me.
Yeah.
And me tell them the only way I can yam food the daytime if I thief. Then God full of daytime now. That's the outcome. That's a good outcome now. Because I'm hungry, man want yam now. But that don't mean you're supposed to go thief every day. There's other ways of handling the situation, bro.
I think you're painting a picture of. You're painting a picture of.
You're looking
of
at it
people.
because you think of
But
because I'm
listen,
taking
man,
it
so
drastic.
Listen, man. I think you're painting a picture of people just somebody.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Oh, maybe they.
Oh, I think you're painting a picture of people. Somebody come and tell a group of people something, and just because they come and tell them so, then they just gonna listen.
Yes.
But how can you say that?
Because you see,
So because
it's not
hold
always
on.
10,000 people, sometimes 6 or 7.
So because hold on. So because people get up and speak out based on what you just said, maybe they are being misled. All right. And people get up and speak out. You're saying that they're wrong for taking that approach? If that's what they know, that's how they know they can get to communicate with people.
Hold on. I'm not saying the approach is okay. Let me rephrase myself. I'm not have to rephrase, bro. The approach not necessarily have to be right in certain people's eyes. But if again, everything at levels no. Because me come to the extreme with the killing and the robbing and stealing. No. If protesting and it's peaceful, right? If it's a peaceful protest every single time, then so be it. If that's how they want to get to things, then so be it. But Bash, every time there's a protest, it stops progress, bro. It stops. Things has to stop. Because I have to stop
But
in
that
order
is
to.
the point, Melo. That's why you protest.
Bash, if me run a project, hold on. If me run a project, I got you all the necessary means for start this project. The government give me every clearance. I not bribe nobody, I do them the right way. But let's say within the government, people miss certain things. Let me give you the two scenarios. People miss certain things. And a protest happen and it stops. Because remember, me think we're doing the right way now. And because certain people miss certain process because they want to expedite the situation, because they think I'm a good initiative and jump hurdles for afford me the opportunity to do it. And I didn't know. And the protest happened and I'm aware of it. And it stops the progress, I'll address it. That's cool. But if a situation happened where I did everything right, everything is done right, I did it by the law, it go through the process by the law, it take me 6 months like it's supposed to take me. And because one day somebody's interpretation of the law is incorrect, you stop my progress, bro. Because remember, as a contractor, you had time frames and everything for me. No, every dollar, every slowdown and money wasted for me. No, you slow up and hold some because your misinterpretation. When all you could have done is go and ask the correct questions, get a clear understanding before you start the process. A lot of time, people protest without even understanding clearly what they're protesting about. Perfect example what we talk about. No man read them and know I get a clear understanding, and in my mind I say, shit, maybe some of them protests not really necessary, no.
Which protest are you that about?
We just said from the top.
Does
Does
the law afford you the privilege of protesting?
No, protests are free, bro. But you can tap it from protest. You want to protest, you protest. And your constitutional right for protest.
Tell to me that the answer for my question.
Yeah.
I can agree to that. Yes. I mean, no. Me just don't think protesting is always. No, let me not say protesting. I don't think we need to always drastically go there. I think it should be like steps before I reach actually that.
Okay.
Sometimes
I don't think that the people that really, they can correct me if I'm wrong, that then they really so understand what really take back of that.
That's what we just say. That's the point I made earlier.
I think the point we need to get across is that depending on what you're referring to as anybody, that what any situation you're referring to, you have to look at the available. I think that's the point Melo wanted to get across. The available avenues in order to resolve, get a resolution, get some sort of change. For argument's sake, if it's a matter of, let's say, school curriculum, and there is something in the school curriculum that people don't like, you could, for argument's sake, people go and they start talk to the minister, they start talk to the school. They might decide, I'll go do it through the schools. I'll go stage some sort of action, because it has to be an action. Some sort of action in the schools that have to get the point across that I don't like this particular thing. So for argument's sake, people might say, when time come for this particular subject, everybody go pull and pick me out of school because nobody agree with that subject. And so action for get across. It's a form, but I mean, we have so many different types of action. So when I think we are focusing so much on public demonstration that you don't realize that there are different methods for get across the information. You can right.
Exactly. That's what we're trying.
Right. So I'm saying that it's you have to take the context, the situation where, for argument's sake, if a matter of someone losing their life, and for argument's sake, you and I, we can't go directly to the police individually to create action. We have to mobilize everybody to stage some sort of public demonstration because of what it is.
Don't get it twisted. No, I'm not saying protest. We shouldn't protest now because there's
I agree.
Protest,
but I think the different points that y'all were speaking about there is that the public demonstration, and then you're saying we should use other methods than public demonstration. But for argument's sake, maybe the situation in one of these cases, somebody should have a conversation to a politician and say, you know what, I need for her on town hall meeting for gather the people, for people express why it is you're seeing this sort of behavior on social media or all this talk around this particular thing.
Yeah.
And then you hear the people out and they say, all right, people say they want X, let me go and me take it to the next level in government for try and mobilize and deal with the situation that way.
No, don't get it twisted, no, because man, as I'm about to say, sometimes, no, whether it's misinformation or right information, no, sometimes you just have to just get up and just pull out the placard and just make noise, no.
No, I agree.
Because sometimes it's really necessary.
And that's the point.
So I was speaking specifically to that context of,
okay,
in the sense of that's basically, I think, to them that the only leverage that they have.
I do agree. I do agree
of that particular.
No, hold on.
So I don't know if they can.
When it comes to them,
avenue, like 1,500 people,
people,
right?
When it comes to that, I don't live there. Yeah. I'm not the native of that. When it comes to the international world, when it comes to them fighting their battles for their land and their property, I do not get involved.
So that's
me personally, not get involved. You understand? So what we were talking about had nothing to, because remember you just say in general. Maybe they look for them in general. Maybe they look for them from a holistic standpoint.
Maybe they look for them.
No, from they do whatever they want. If that to them means for protest every time someone go left and they can get the action, they can choose to do that because they understand their situation, their laws, their whatever the case may be. And for me. So however they choose to fight that, then can choose to fight them. I'm just saying from a holistic standpoint, I just don't think it's always the best. But then again, if you want immediate change, you have to do something, some sort of action in order to get immediate change, right?
Maybe it's not the best, as you say, are the most appropriate bit, but are the most effective, see, boy, because even though, like, you see around the world, like, people in different parts of the United States, some of the people are going at the protest.
Yeah, facts.
So it's very effective.
No, I mean, not saying ineffective.
I think they have found it to be the most effective
Yeah.
tool for them. So
Yeah, man.
But what me just realize, most of the time with protests, if it's not a controlled situation, it can get drastic. Like, for example, like when I do the what you call them, COVID vaccine situation. Look how that end up. I ain't need to get there. Because as far as me concerned, it may just be like, it seemed to be a peaceful situation. You just not, me just find, but then again, maybe that's the Antigua in me. You know, I'm very passive aggressive. Me and you will sit down here and make nice now up on podcast and then.
And that's why you mustn't talk about the people and them. And then go and do them.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. When it comes to them, when it comes to that and their situation, no, of course. But I agree with their approach, but
that's what I said. You realize what I said earlier? Because they told it that like a night and day when it comes to Antigans, boss. Because any legal thing, them are ready. We know, we talk and pick out our phone, but when the man say, come, and the time you have to go.
But that's when it comes to them now. When it comes to that, well, too. That's what I'm gonna say. That's where I think my statement stand. It might always be the best approach. But you always get the outcome that you look. If I'm in a situation where the project have a top and somebody have to come and explain to me in detail what happened here before you move on next nail. You know, back in the day, we had old people and you as a young youth, you don't understand the processes and how times have changed and so on. And you come and say, yo, I'm going to move that stone. And old people say, hey, put home back. When you move on far, you have to go explain to them why you're moving it. Make it make logical sense for them to say, okay, no, you can move on.
Maybe if sufficient effort was put into that
sensitizing the people.
Explanation process in the first place.
Exactly.
They wouldn't even push the people in to go so far.
But maybe then I need to do that, explain the laws of people. Because what I think happened is ever so often, every 6 months, 3 months, 4 months, maybe every year, the same protest and all them something. So at what point does somebody could just come and decide, hey, maybe I should have a program for expose people to the laws as it pertains to these things, so we don't have them happening again? I find around here just extremely boy. God damn.
Listen, I mean, government kind of in a rock and hard place.
Yeah, they always
some of these beach properties.
Yeah.
Because I
you need
understand where
development.
the people concerned. You know, you want to appease 10 people that kick up about access to the beach. But then, on the other hand, how you going to turn down these millions?
You can't turn down development, job creation.
So, them 10 people, they cannot kick up enough of a storm for cause one problem.
I can understand
unless
that.
you get
I can understand and
30-40% Antiguan, maybe even 20% to make one stink, yes.
I can understand and
outside
agree.
of that, or money run things.
I can understand and agree with that point, because it's a very valid point, especially. But I think it's when it like the quote unquote everyday we use.
Yeah.
I think that's where most of the protest happens. Because if we're talking about these isolated luxury places, which part, so in a place that may you don't even know about.
Exactly.
So those properties and those properties that have access to beaches, I don't think it's an issue.
But Pash, you not even realize they have people around there that sit down and wait for development to happen. I hear what development happen. I hear that you have on the beach and nobody has access to. Just for protesters to mechanize. Now you have people that out there like that, bro.
But yeah, but not in them remote places that I never hear about. Like, it's like, as I said, they have places.
Because you don't know them.
No, but you have places in Antigua that are dedicated, like super mega rich.
Yeah, just call one right. No, call one right now. You see tomorrow she don't protest.
But I think
you call one right now. I see tomorrow have a protest.
The everyday areas, everyday beaches, like what was in the video that I posted, I think that is where the problem arises. You understand?
For sure.
Imagine tomorrow, me, you, Jito.
Go fries and somebody tell her I can't go fries.
Have a out in their fries, boy. Next thing I have the man say, you can't come in the fries. A problem?
No, definitely protest. No, me enjoy you. Why is it, Jito? We definitely enjoy you.
The whole Antigua.
Yeah, me enjoy you. But you can't tell me, what you call the place? Mermaid Avenue or something, when nobody even know about. You whole Antigua for test about, and you want me.
Mermaid Avenue. Okay, suppose the government say, okay, Antiguans and Barbudans, we know that you all are pretty upset about the closure of Fry's Beach, but you know, I couldn't really turn down this $3 billion check. So we're gonna prepare this on the beach for y'all. Just nice, just like fries.
No, not Antigua people.
That will be just
Antigua people.
Fries are set up.
Hey,
Everybody ever get a double salary.
no Antigua people. I can say, okay.
Hey,
No
trust me.
Antigua people.
Nah,
double
happen.
salary they forgot that one time.
Let me tell you why it not happen.
You don't Antigua people.
No, because you don't know Fries Beach and how much people Fries Beach employ.
You don't Antigua people.
No, again, Antigua people as a collective might say yes,
3 billion
right?
percent on
You know understand what I
I
mean?
want this hill cross here. This piece of 3 billion.
But I say, I cut fries in half.
But what happened when you get a new beach? Are tourists gonna go there? We continue our businesses there? Can we work there?
Where?
You know, you ever go Fries when tourists boat in, bro? Thousands of people on Fries Beach and so daytime, bro.
Okay, so here what?
So that means an
So the billion might
ecosystem
have
there,
up
what
there.
economics there that you crazy.
Antigua people serve like a pop. As you come and just tell anything, as you say,
That got
they give them a little two
that got me for boy, come in know.
Antigua
got-
people forgot about that.
That got me. Come in know.
I'm bringing a free show. They go,
The man said-
what fries? What fries? Fries?
I know,
Yo.
fries minute can't get like a
so sorry for that. I'm so sorry for that. And that
I
though.
say, yo, I gotta do the fries, man. Yeah, man. What money tab up here, boy? I say, money tab up here.
No, so hold on. So what do you guys say that Antiguans are easily bought?
Yes.
Hello.
No gum shot.
Not me, dog.
No gum
Yo,
shot.
Az.
No backboard.
That got me.
Boy, remember how the original Garrett now.
Yo, on that note, because yo, little more our friendship gonna take a turn, but come go thump in the face, bro. I slap me nigga stop y'all like while we chopping this to that.
And I'm getting here.
That's the wrong approach.
listen.
That's the wrong approach. Ever got it for me?
Yeah. Before me protest, I slap in the face, isn't it? And on that note, you know, joke me make, right? Joke me make. Come on, hey, joke me make. Me never slap J2 from boss. J2 from
Yo, that's how I didn't go talk here. You can't tell slap me. What else? They call it blick. The blick.
Yo, let me top check. Yo, I'll cut out this part, your bad. Anyways, check. Again, fellas, good discussion. I mean, Bash, bring back a feedback. Say, we talk too much about America topics, and if you keep it local.
Hey, that's
No,
what
it's
people tell
talk
me.
so much America today.
No, but it's still America with association with Antigua. I mean, I think we should try for aim for a mixture because again, America do things that are very entertaining at every now and again that we have to discuss. So I just need to find a balance and strike on balance. Yeah, but anything else I want to touch? I mean, time for move on.
No time.
Facts.
Other things about no time.
This has been another episode of the Ignorance is Undefeated podcast. Listen, we're having a live show in the next month. Locations to be announced, so look out. Just continue watching the episodes. More information will come. We're having our first live show. It's going to be free for sure. So I want everybody to come out, share it. When the flyer go out, share the flyer. Again, remember to like, share, and subscribe to the Ignorance is Undefeated podcast. Share it with your friends, share it with people, help the audience to grow. I mean,
I remember to go and check that episode and make Melo and them see that man I'm dead tell a lie.
yeah, that's a lie. You done? Oh, look at the people and tell them what we do. Yeah. Go to Ignorance is Undefeated podcast on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Like, share, TikTok, like, share, comment, subscribe.
Hey, bad.
All the works. Again, live show is coming soon. More than likely, it's going to happen at Delhi's. It's going to happen in a month's time. Look out for the flyer. When J2 done the flyer, we're going to post the flyer. It's going to be free. It's going to be our first live show. Yeah, and it's going to be exciting. Come out, meet us, have conversation, engage. Where is it now, J2? Sorry about it. Just like that, no? God damn, age really show, boy. Remember, this is the Ignorance is Undefeated podcast again. Don't battle with ignorance because it's undefeated. We out.